Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing okay, are staying safe, are staying home, and everything can be okay within the situation. I've been okay. Today I was watching a movie with my husband and then I started crying, so I had to redo my makeup. And then since I did this makeup, this glammy, soft glam type of makeup, pink makeup, then I decided that I would film a video for you guys. Today is a good day to film a video that I've been wanting to film for a while, and it's my ranking the ABH palettes. I have here 11 ABH palettes, and if you want to see how I rank them, I'm gonna do them the same way that I did the Natasha Denona ranking. So I'm gonna basically rank them with you guys. I didn't rank them before the video. So if you want to see how I ranked, one of my favorite formulas of eyeshadows, which are the ABH or Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have them all here in front of me, and the first thing that I know I will pull out, that's gonna be in the bottom, it's gonna be the Riviera palette. This palette, I purchased it because since Anastasia carries my favorite formula of eyeshadow after Natasha Denona, then I thought that if I got this palette, a colorful palette from ABH, then I would love colorful eyeshadow. But the truth is that I do not wear colorful eyeshadow that much. This is the heaviest of colors that I would wear. It's either pink or orange, but it's never like this crazy neon fuchsia or this type of purple. It's just, even though this palette has an array of colors that you can use every day, it's not a palette that I see myself reaching into a lot. Since I got it, all the Anastasia palettes you will see, they look worn, used and abused, but this one, I never reach for it. I never want to grab it, not even just because, not even for clients. And if I put it on my kids for clients, I still never reach for it. It doesn't call my name. I thought I was gonna love it. That's why I didn't get the Alyssa Edwards palette, because it was similar in a few ways to this one. So it wasn't for me. So this is the last one so far. And I think this is gonna be the worst one within my ranking for sure. This one, it's the Norvina palette. And this one for sure would go on top of the Riviera. And you can see here how used and abused it is. I love my Anastasia palette, so you can see that I've hit pan in like 7 shades of the palette. I use this a lot on bridal. I use this a lot on clients, but I love it on myself as well. I love Wild Child. I love Rose Gold, Dazzling, Dreamer, Summer. It's beautiful. Summer, I think, is one of my favorite golds from all the ABH palettes that I own. So this goes on top of Riviera for sure. This is Prism. And this is not the palette that you would go and gravitate towards right away because the color scheme is super easy. This is more of a nighttime palette. It's a palette that you will wear sort of in a smoky and sexy way. This was a end of the year release a few years ago. And I even did a 3 looks 1 palette with this one, or I put it in a project progress, and I was in love with it. I was in love with it even more than when I got it, but the colors here are beautiful. I have 5 pans in it, so you can see it right here. It's worn, and I think I could even use it more. This is one of those palettes that I can basically put it in a project and see if I can pan all the shades. I don't think a Sphere would be one of those shades that I would pan because I'm not that into neons, but the rest of the shades are wonderful. And then Throne, oh my goodness, I have a tutorial with Throne. I'm gonna see if I can search that for you guys and put it in a link below or someplace on the screen. Throne, I have to swatch it. I just have to. It's a green, but then when you turn your face, it looks sort of a dark brown or a black. It's perfection. It's perfection. I really love this palette, and I know for sure I will keep reaching for it. I carry it sometimes on my makeup artistry kits, and when I do carry it, I will use it. I love how soft the formula is. This is similar to a Subculture formula, a little less powdery, but it's so similar, and I love that formula because it's pigmented. If you know how to work with it, it will take you a long way when it comes to your art as a makeup artist. And Obsidian, it's a really nice black. They are powdery, like I say, they take a learning curve, but this is really nice. That being said, I would put this underneath Norvina. Then let's talk about this one. I know that my palettes look beat up, and I love that. I don't know if you guys are gonna say that in the comments. Every single Anastasia palette I've gotten right when they were released. I never wait for them to be discontinued, or I never wait for them to go on sale. I buy them. So these are all palettes that I bought as soon as they were released. So the Modern Renaissance is an oldie, but it works perfectly fine. Last year I put it in a pan that palette. I started that project and I have a playlist. This was the first palette that I put in there because I wanted to heat pan in every single eyeshadow, and I actually did heat pan, and I think that I could finish a few of the eyeshadows and I could actually repurchase this palette. It's really pretty, but after talking about this one and then thinking about Soft Glam every time I look at this one, I think Soft Glam would be a better choice for me. I don't think I found another eyeshadow formula that was as good and as beautiful as the ABH eyeshadows until I found Natasha Denona. And ever since, I've been purchasing both palettes from both brands, and they have been amazing. This palette, you can see it right here. It looks worn. When I see these videos where people say, oh, I love this formula, or I love this palette so much and I've had it for ages, and it looks worn and the palette looks brand new, not even outside, because I get that some people take better care of their palettes outside. I will wash them like with a cloth and alcohol like a crazy person, because I want to sanitize everything, and I don't mind if the palette loses pigmentation and it's not looking pink and beautiful. I just clean it everywhere. So I don't know how people say that and then the palette looks like they have never touched it on the inside, but they say they know the formula. That for me doesn't seem trustworthy, because every single YouTuber that I watch that I love, when they say they love a palette, you can see the palette looking disgusting. Even if it looks brand new on the outside, it has at least a lot of dents. It doesn't have to have pan, because I know that a lot of people don't heat pan in an eyeshadow palette, but if you truly love one, you will go back to it and you will use the eyeshadows. For me, this one goes underneath Prism even, because I would prefer to reach for Prism than to reach for the Modern Renaissance. And of course it goes underneath Norvina. So right now we're going Norvina, Prism, Modern Renaissance, and Riviera. This is the Carli Bybel palette, and this is sort of new one. I know I have seen it in a lot of places that it's on sale. I know this is limited edition, and I don't think this one did that good. I like the color scheme of this one. I truly do, because I love these 4 shades. I even love the OA, and I love the show, by the way. I haven't used it that much because there's something missing on this palette and I can't put my finger into it. It's a palette that, even though it's pretty, it's not amazing, and in my opinion there's something off with the formula. I love the color scheme, and I can see Carli here. I know that these are colors that she loves to use, but it's just not a palette that I find myself reaching for. I think this would go underneath Modern Renaissance when it comes to the appeal that it has for me to use, or it would basically go, let's see, I think it would go on top of Modern Renaissance, because Modern Renaissance already lost its gleam to me. I'm gonna grab this one. This is Subculture. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it. This eyeshadow palette is beautiful, and I think that when we think about makeup artists in the community, in the YouTube beauty community, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that most makeup artists would love this because the pigments in here are so real. I love these. I think this palette is amazing. It's still true to color. The colors are still holding strong. I have heat pan in 5 shades of this palette, and it's not hard to heat pan on it, but if you know how to use it, it is, because the colors are so pigmented that you basically, if you use it the right way, you will not heat pan that easily, because these are highly pigmented shadows. So you can see those right there. That yellowy color, it's so beautiful. And to be completely honest, one of the reasons why I purchased the Sephardic palette from Natasha Denona is because everyone said that the color scheme was similar to the Subculture palette. And this one has a few shimmery colors. It has 3 shimmery colors, but the Sephardic palette is an all matte palette. And this is a beautiful palette. I would highly recommend you trying it. I don't know if it's still available, but this palette was like nothing else you would have seen in the past. I think now you can find these colors easier, but it was just perfection. I would highly recommend it, and if you have it, pull it back out and play with it. This one would go on top of Prism for sure, and then underneath Norvina. So this would be holding the second place. So now we are Norvina, Subculture, Prism, Carli, Bybel, Modern Renaissance, and Riviera. This is gonna be hard, but I think I know my first place already. My first place is split up in a way because I love them so much, but I think my first place is set for sure. So here I have the Jackie Aina palette, and this one, when you compare it to the Carli Bybel palette, that one, the color scheme would even call more of my name because the colors are more subdued and more like me. But then that one, the formula didn't blow my mind. Opposed to the rest of the palettes, they all have basically the same formula except for Subculture and Prism, which are similar formulas, but they are extremely pigmented. Then for the Carli Bybel palette, you have eyeshadow shades that are not performing as good as the rest of the palettes. For the Jackie Aina, on the other hand, you can use every single shade with your eyes closed and every single one will perform in an amazing way. It's a truly beautiful palette, and I think it's the colorful palette that I wanted Riviera to be, because Riviera didn't just knock my socks off. This is a wearable, pigmented, high performance, colorful, dark colorful palette. I haven't hit pan because this is one of the newest ones in my collection. This one can be used for bridal because you have all these shades right here. It can be used for nighttime, it can be used for clubbing, it can be used for anything. I think this palette is so completely beautiful. I wish it had a black, but that's just me. I truly love this palette. I find it to be really beautiful. So this one would go underneath Norvina and on top of Subculture. But Norvina, I use it way more. Maybe in the future when I play more with the Jackie Aina, I would put it on top. But Norvina, I find it to be an easier palette. And I have to say, I prefer easier palettes. I prefer palettes that as soon as you see them, you can see multiple looks and multi-dimensional looks in a color scheme. Then I can go into Sultry, and Sultry, it's pretty, it's really pretty. Sultry, when it came to me, it came broken, so I wrote them a letter and they sent another palette. When I got the other palette, I already hit pan in one of the shades, so I passed it to my sister-in-law and she loved it. There's something that I love about Sultry. I wasn't into that color tone eyeshadows until the end of last year. So I need to pull this back out and play with it more. But taking into account the amount of use that I put into it, or the warmth in my heart that I get when I see this, I would put it underneath Norvina. And even though it's a beautiful palette, and I've used it way more in the past few months on my clients because I wanted to do more cool tone looks. And I think I would even put it underneath Jackie Aina. So this is on top of Subculture. I don't know. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be on top of Subculture and underneath the Jackie Aina palette. Okay, so I have only 3 left. Only 3. And then I will tell you the entire ranking of the palettes. If I lost all of my makeup collection, all of it was lost in a fire, or I just moved because I was running away from someone or whatever, and I had to leave everything behind and I had to start over, I think Soft Glam would be the first palette that I would purchase. And that's something that I don't say lightly. This is a palette that I had to remove from my makeup drawer when I first bought it because I didn't want to use it that much and I wanted to save it for bridal because it's so good for brides. So I love it for myself like a crazy person, and I love it for my makeup artistry kit like a crazy person. I'm about to finish Rose Pink, and I think this is one of the most beautiful shades of eyeshadow that I have in my entire collection, and I will be so sad when it's gone that I've thought about passing the entire palette, the rest of the palette, to my sister-in-law Daniela, and then buying another one just to have Rose Pink again. And then I say to myself, no, because you will end up finishing this entire palette for sure. So why don't you write to Anastasia and ask to sell Rose Pink as a single, and then you don't use singles. So I've thought about this palette since I purchased it all the time. This is the first palette that I pack on my makeup artistry kits, and I rotate almost every time all of the palettes. But this one, I will carry it. It's my safe place when it comes to my makeup for myself. If I'm going to a wedding, if I'm gonna go to a huge event and I want to look beautiful, this is the palette that I will grab. And this is one of the palettes that I reach for in my collection more than any other palette. So on this one, I've hit panning in 9 shades, and I'm about to hit panning another one. And this is the reason why Modern Renaissance, I wouldn't repurchase it even if I finish all of the colors, because this is what I basically wanted Modern Renaissance to be. This is just a beautiful, beautiful palette. I love orange soda. So when the Jackie Aina palette needs the Carli Bybel, this one for me doesn't need anyone or anything. If I would want to grab a pop of color, that would be something different. But the pop of color for me, of my choice, is always orangey or pinky, and I have them right here. I have a black, which I love. I have a deep brown, which I love. I have mulberry, which is a burnt reddish brick color. And then I have Dusty Rose when I want to put a mauvey tone on my eyelid. I have Tempera, which was in the Modern Renaissance. This is just one of those palettes that it can do no wrong. I love all the transitions. I love that all the mattes here are, ones are neutrals and the other ones are warm. I just love this palette, and I wouldn't change anything from it except for Fairy and Glistening. I would like for them to switch it to something in between this one and Tempera, something lighter, orangey in a way. So yeah, but this palette for me is perfect. You can see it right here, how worn it has been and how used and abused it is. And this is gonna go on top, and I think this one is gonna stay on top. That's just something that I truly feel in my heart, that it's gonna stay on top. Then I have here the Amorisi palette, and this one, I have to say, it took me a few times going to Ulta and Sephora and swatching it, because I didn't want to spend money buying eyeshadow palettes, because you guys know that I made a promise that if I sell makeup, then I could purchase makeup. But then a client ordered a few stuff from me. I bought them at Ulta. I got a lot of points, and I had to pay $16 for it. I really wanted it, but I was convincing myself that I didn't want another palette because I couldn't afford it, because I wanted the Love palette from Natasha Denona so much. I kept swatching it and was so in love with it that I ended up purchasing it. And I'm happy that I got it for cheaper, $16 or $17, something like that, at Ulta. And this is a beautiful palette. These I haven't used that much because I've been playing with the Love palette and getting to know that one first. These two were my birthday gift for this year. But this one, I used it a couple times when I was in the US, and then I used it about 3 times here. I think the formula of this one, it's as great as the Jackie Aina formula. It's way better than the Carli Bybel. This is a mixture of Norbina and then Soft Glam. I love that it has a black, a brown. I love that it has these colors that are basically like burnt orange and sienna or something like that. I know they're similar, but these are the colors that I hit pan on a lot. I love that it has a few pops of color that Soft Glam doesn't have, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. That being said, I think this one would go underneath Soft Glam for sure, because this is my favorite one. That pink will kill every other eyeshadow palettes. But I love Barb, I love Cupcake, I love Anastasia. Oh my goodness, that eyeshadow looks like orgasm in an eyeshadow. The blush and more shimmery, so pretty, so beautiful. So this one I know will be loved on my kit. So I think that this one, would it go underneath Norbina? Let me look at them. So being honest, I would put this underneath the Jackie Aina palette. And I know I will maybe love it even more, but the Jackie Aina palette has more of the everyday shades that I would use on my kids and on myself, like Soleil and Sam. And I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, for sure, because this one has more colors that I wouldn't reach for as much, even though they're pretty, like Breezy, like Cupcake, the glitters. I don't reach for glitters that much, even though these are beautiful. And then Leo, which is the blue. I don't reach for those colors as much. And the Jackie Aina palette for me has more of the, even the colorful shades that I would go for. So Jackie Aina, Norvina, Soft Glam. And then Amorisi is the fourth. And then the Master Palette by Mario. This one I wish they would make permanent. I wish all Anastasia eyeshadow palettes were permanent, because they are that good. They deserve to be permanent. They are really amazing, and the formula is insane, and they're amazing for makeup artistry. I can't say that enough. I prefer to work with them than Natasha Denona on my kit. Always. I think they're easy to work with. I think you don't have to think about it. I have long nails, and sometimes Natasha Denona needs fingers to work the way you want it to work. But with Anastasia, you can use either a brush or your fingers and you're good. Everything looks flawless. They are really, really easy to buff into the eyes. They don't fail me ever. I love this formula. Yeah, if I could erase all of the formulas in my kit or in my drawers of eyeshadow, I would only keep Natasha Denona and ABH. That's how good they are. So I truly love these. And the Master Palette by Mario, for one reason, should be made permanent. This palette is made for makeup artistry. I think that this is what expensive glam or red carpet glam looks like in my mind. Soft glam too, but this one even more. It's sort of a nighttime soft. The shimmers or the shimmers here are not glittery. They look expensive. They look stunning on the eyes, and the way they work is just, it's truly a palette to use in red carpet, or just when you want to do a blown out one eyeshadow look type of look, when you want to do something that looks effortless but extremely glam, with a black liner surrounding your eyes or marking your eyes. This is the palette. This is so pretty. I always carry this with me. At one point I had to stop myself from doing that because I was afraid of running out of it. But right now I don't care anymore. I just want to use it until it doesn't work. I don't want it to go to waste. I think they should make this permanent. I think they should bring it back. Or at least I think they should do another collab with Mario, because I think he's just amazing. So this one is the Master Palette by Mario. I've hit pan in every single shade of it. I have a review of this palette. I think it's in Spanish though, here on my channel, and I would highly recommend this palette. This is one of my most loved palettes, and this one, it would go on top of Norvina for sure. If I had to choose between those two, I would keep the Mario one, even though the Norvina one is really versatile. But I have to say I would keep Soft Glam on top, because it has a black, it has a brown, and those are colors that I reach for almost every single look. So then the Mario palette goes on the second place. So I have them all right here, because I don't want to drop them. So you can see there that I have Soft Glam, Mario, Norvina, Jackie Aina, Amorisi, Sultry, Subculture, Prism, Carli Bybel, Modern Renaissance, and Riviera. So that's me ranking the Anastasia palettes. I love them guys. If you can find one that calls your name, that the color scheme suits you, then go for it, because the formula is truly amazing. And if you're an everyday type of person and you love creating looks that are soft and pretty, then I would recommend Soft Glam. If you like pinkies, then grab Norvina, because even though Norvina is supposed to be purple, it doesn't have that much purple to it. But this brown, rose gold, it has pink in it. Love is beautiful. Soul is pretty. Celestial, then Drama, it's a burgundy shade. Summer is, like I said, the best gold that Anastasia has come up with. Wild Child is perfection. And it has these transition shades that are so different from any other palette, from even Anastasia or Natasha Denona that you will see. So that's my ranking of the ABH palette. I promised this video to you guys ages ago. Fairy is one of the eyeshadow shades from the Soft Glam, and this is my favorite palette. So Fairy, it's gonna be the emoji for the day if you watch the entire video. And let me know if you wanna see a tutorial with any of these palettes. I would be happy to do it. I would be happy to even use Riviera for a video. Whatever you guys want to see, I would be happy to do it for you. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay home. I hope you are okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is a little piece of heaven for you, because I've been using YouTube as a way to make myself feel calmer and not as stressed out. And I'm hoping that I can give you that safe place here. I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.